Alright guys, how's it going? Motor Dragon here again. As you can hear, I am sick as fuck. Oh, one click. My little visor latch is making a noise. But yeah, I'm sick. I'm kind of coming over it now, to be honest. I've had it for, been sick for about a week. It's just starting to come over, thankfully, but I just all nasally and fucking the worst part of it. You know, the slight cough and all that. I fucking hate being sick. Yeah, first gear is it's horrible on this bike. I think a lot of it is to do with the Euro 4 fueling on this, but it's so fucking choppy. Once you go into second, it's actually perfectly fine, but first is just so snatchy. I am afraid to use the quick shifter from first to second. I think the only time I'd use it is when I'm on track, but even at that, like, I'm never really going to be in first gear. You never really be in first gear on the track unless it's all about speed. Mondello definitely not. It's too technical. The suspension, and I don't know if this is stock suspension. I still have a feeling that the guy who owned this before me tracked this bike very, very well. The oil cooler's in fucking bits. The radiator is not so nice looking either. The right peg is really ground down. The left one's getting there, you know, and it has 7,000 kilometers on it and it's a year old, so I think he probably was happily tracked this bike, which is no problem. I tracked my old MT-07. Listen to that. Like, surely it shouldn't sound like that, should it? But I think the guy who owned this before me, I'm pretty confident he tracked it, because the suspension on it is fucking stiff. It's definitely not set up for the road. Oh man, every fucking bump hurts your hole. I thought I'd kind of like to, because I'm stuck on a fucking straight road. I can't really go anywhere. To be honest, I'm not really arsed. I'm just in the mood to like chill. But I wanted to kind of compare this to the MT-07. So obviously what would make sense is if you were to compare this to MT-09. But considering I just came off an MT-07 to this, I thought it'd be fun just to talk about it. Straight off the bat, once you get on this bike, you realise how tiny the MT-07 is. The MT-07 literally feels like a fucking toy. Now, that is not a bad thing. The MT-07 is such a fucking fun bike. If anyone is thinking of getting that bike, just get it. You will not regret it at all. I fucking love that bike. I would still have it if I could afford to keep two bikes. I'd still happily have that bike. It is such an amazing bike. There's literally nothing wrong. There's nothing you can complain. Now obviously there's bits you can change. The main thing for me would be the suspension. The front suspension mainly is just so soft. You can see where they cut the corners. The suspension is shit. It's the easy way of saying it is so shit. It's a cheap bike, and it doesn't actually let the bike down that much. As you can see from my track days, I was on track, obviously, and it was fucking amazing. The only thing is, you could not brake as deep into a corner as you wanted. The brakes weren't amazing, as you'd expect, but the suspension would bottom out fairly easy. So if you were to brake really deep into a corner, you'd be literally, the forks would be fucked. They wouldn't last very long, because it's just at, like, you know, full compression or whatever the technical word would be, I don't know. But it was such a fun bike, so much power, like so much torque, it's so easy to ride. But then when you get onto this bike, you're like, you know, there's no comparison. And now I'm not saying, if you're like, I don't see why you'd be looking at an MT-07 or an MT-10. To me, that's a bit stupid. You wouldn't be doing that. An MT-10, and especially if you're not experienced. Obviously, I am not the most experienced rider out there, but if you're looking at MT-07 and you see one of these and you don't have too much experience, don't get on one of these. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to get into an accident. There's so much fucking power on this bike, but I love this bike. It's so fucking nice. Everything about it is so smooth. You can feel the price difference from this bike to the MT-07, you know, and I just have to keep on stressing, the MT-07 is, to me, one of the most perfect bikes you can get. You know, fuel economy is fucking amazing. Fuel economy in this is shit. I have 2 bars and I've done 129 kilometers. Whatever the fuck that is in miles. Nothing fuck all miles, probably about 100 miles. You know, and I've only got 2 bars left. So the fuel is not amazing on this bike, but you know, it's a detuned R1 engine. If you're buying this bike to get great fuel economy, you know, that makes no sense. If you want good fuel economy, you get an MT-07 where, you know, 13 or 14 euro to fill the tank from empty to full would get me like 250 to, you know, I got 270 kilometers. I was talking to a few people that had the newer MT-07, and one of the guys said he got 330 kilometers or around that on a full tank. Like, that's fucking incredible on a bike, like fucking hell. But this bike, there's no comparison to this bike. Like, obviously, you know, you have the other hyper nakeds, but fuck me, this bike is so fun. If you're an experienced rider and you're looking at a fun bike that just does everything, well then this does literally everything. So I can't wait to get it onto the track, so then I can really see what it's like. But so far, even my few little spins that I've had, and it's always been wet, it just handles so nice here. I just want to do a really quick comparison. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions, but like, comment, and subscribe. I'll talk to you on the next video.